change. You've stopped smoking, let's say for 12 hours, 24 hours or 2 days. Then you're moving into the maintenance where you've started to change for longer. You sort of got into a change of stopped smoking for a month, and then once you've stopped smoking for a month, you can come out and escape. When you've escaped this cycle of change, you've made the change, you've done it, you've completed it, you're hippie, I've done it, but then you've still got a while, it takes a while still, props. I know to burst your bubble, but you can go into relapse, and you've relapsed, you've not changed, you've changed your mind of a change, so you've started again. But it's not a downward spiral. Don't put that into your head. Think about it as you still can go round the change again, and you can go round this every day in any situation of your life in any way, where you're learning to make a change in different scenarios and different concepts of your life, you see. So you're making changes, and and it's just like playing. It's like within us, we've got the child within that likes to come out and play, and we've got the adult who wants to be the adult and be in charge of everybody, the children. And we've got the parent, child and adult within us. We've got the parent who is controlling and helping everybody to look after themselves, helping people like myself. I love helping people. Then you've got the parent who lays the law down and puts everything into perspective in what everybody should be doing. Then you've got the child within who wants to go out and play. That's the playtime you're playing. And this is from Carl Rogers' theory of, tell me if I'm wrong. And then you've started making the change. So that's the changes, what you can do in counselling or therapy. So you ain't got to be mad at all. Just be as mad as me, and then we'll be alright. We'll both be on the same level. So yeah, and then we can go on to different things like stress, anxiety, depression and things like that, where sometimes some challenges are very big, and sometimes it gets money. We're short of money, we can't get a job, and why? Why does it affect us? It affects the mind, and it gives you stresses of the mind, and then you move on to depression, and when you get anxiety, you need to breathe deeply. It's affecting your breath, and it's all to do with the cognitive behavioural therapy of the mind and what you're thinking. Your cognitive is your brain and how you're working things out, and things aren't working so well, so your brain starts going into different spasms of worry and stuff like that. And you've got the stress, and then you're going into depression. Why me? And you're thinking everything's going wrong for me and everything's good. But then we can work on a counselling scenario of working out that change of what you're thinking and why your mind is thinking like that, and how to change your thought of mind from a negative level of thinking to a positive. And I'm there to listen, use tools to help you to think more clearer about what you're thinking and how you can make those changes. Then we can do this form together in like an assessment. We can do an assessment form where we've got all the changes and what the problems are and how we can work around them problems in each session of counselling that we have together. It's a weekly session, usually an hour or 50 minutes, sorry, and I will say to you, everything you say will be confidential unless you say something like you're doing something like harming yourself or others, child abuse or harming child, and or money laundering or drug trafficking or even anything else that's bad, anything against the law. Sorry about that. So just give me feedback on that if you think I've gone wrong on that somewhere. And anything you say will be under your name only. Nobody else sees that or hears it or knows what you've said, only me. and I will keep that secret till the grave, and then I will only say anything what you say in supervision. I have to have supervision every time I've done, say, 4 clients or 4 sessions. I need supervision so I can find out whether I've took anything on board of anybody else's challenges, problems, and how I can work it out, you see. So, and you will be known as a number, not a name, in that scenario. So as this goes on, if you work with me with this, we'll work on a Beck's depression inventory. And the Beck's depression inventory works like this. I will ask you a number of questions, 21 questions in all. You will answer them, and you'll get a point scoring system for each answer you give me. Pardon me. And then what happens is like this. It starts with number 1. It starts with sadness, and this is how it goes: 0 points, 0 pointer, as you see, for I do not feel sad. That's good. That's very good. Then you move on to, you get 1 point for I feel sad. I feel sad much of the time. Most of the time. Then you get 1 point for that. And then you get 2 points, and you don't win anything from these points. Points aren't prizes in this game, This is learning. You say understanding your own behaviour. So there you go. Sorry about the jokes. It's me. It's my sense of humour. Got a good sense of humour when I get going. Anyway, it's not funny though. It's a scenario where you've got to answer this question. Sadness. To get 2 points, you need to say, I am sad all the time. Then to get 3 points, which is you saying, I am sad or unhappy that I can't stand it. So that means you're deeper and deeper into your thoughts, into your beliefs and behaviours, and that is affecting you mentally and physically, because the brain affects the body, which continues through, because the brain is the machine, the computer that causes different effects and behaviours to the body and your behaviours. So it's cognitive, the brain, and the behaviours is you, and the therapy is what you'll go through in a therapy stage to help you with it. So you've got all these questions, and I won't go on about because I'm getting too long, and we'll have to do short videos, I'm afraid. Sorry about that. So hopefully we can move on to a thought record, work with a thought record to help you. And when you do this thought record, you work on, well, I'll help you to write it, and you can write it. Situation, the situation of your life, what the situation is, and then the answer, what is it, is another question. What happened, where, when, who, with, or how, and how it all started, and how this affected you and what happened. Yeah, we're working on that. Then there's a tool where you can work through to carry on, and then how this is affecting you out of the score between 0 to 100, yeah, and then we come out with the answer, what is, what emotion did I feel at the time, what else, how interesting it was, how intense was it, how intense the feeling was. And this is where you come to the point of between 0 to 100. You can go 98, and then that's very high, and that's really affecting you. It's affecting you more into a anxiety state where you want to breathe deeply and you can't take that pressure. So think about it, how it's going to level and each level of thinking and how it's affecting you. And as we go through this thought record sheet, we will come to a conclusion at the end, in how we can change things, how things can work around you, how we can make things change, and then As we get to the end, we work on a scenario of finding out whether we've made that change, that breakthrough, gone through the cycle of change again, and made that breakthrough of getting a less points out of 100 in how you're feeling. Then that has helped you to understand yourself a bit better and understand where you are with your thoughts and feelings. And it's so good to get that pressure because you've spoke about it, you've released it. And a problem shared is a problem halved, or a challenge. I call every problem a challenge. So if you wish to work with me, I work on that basis of learning from you, obviously making a living because I'm self-employed, and only at small cost, like an assessment session £20 for about 20 minutes for 30 minutes, and then full counselling sessions at 50 minutes. But then if we're working on a vibration of therapy, you'll get 1 minute, 50-minute session, and then we'll work on sessions where it can get less time and less time. But it's £30 for each session, and we can see how many sessions we need to work out, because we have to build a contract of how we're going to work together, and then we have to work out everything, the pros and cons of how it's working, and see how long it's going to take to help you to work out your own scenario of your challenge or problem. See, my theory of life in general is everything happens for a reason, and everything is a challenge, not a problem. So it's challenging your own cognitive behavioural therapy in your own, with therapy in your own mind. So if we could work with that, we would all be better off. And I can work with things like MI, which is motivational interviewing, which is motivating you to make the changes yourself in different ways, or CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy, which can help you again to find your behaviour or find the triggers that are causing your behaviour in your own mind, and why it's affecting your body and everything. And then we can go on to, we can learn different things, how to work out what your levels are and how we can work with it, with stress, depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, and even schizophrenia. And it's all good because we're working on that level of you, with yourself, and I learn from you working with you, and you learn from me in understanding yourself better and working on more of a life of working positively through your life, or getting rid of the negative thoughts and the negative feelings. And that it sounds better than it seems. But as you work with this energy and with a counsellor or a therapist, you're working with yourself, you're working on yourself to make those changes. So thank you for listening to me. And obviously, yes, we're in Nottingham. I can travel, can come to you, and we'll work together and come to you for the first session, and then we can work on meeting on a regular basis every week for the sessions. And I have to say that we have to come to an agreement where 24 hours notice is given for each session, saying that if you don't report, say to me you can't come to the session 24 hours before so, and then you ain't got to pay me nothing. But if you don't tell me 24 hours before, I will have to charge you for the session, I'm afraid, because that's my living, you see, my life. So I have to live with that. And so if that's okay with you, and you don't mind working with me, and that's it basically. Okay, thank you for working, and God bless. Okay, cheers.